Hey everyone, my name is Bill Mann, and I'm the principal at the Vestavia Hills High School freshman campus. On behalf of our faculty and staff, I want to welcome you to the high school community as you begin making preparations for your rising freshmen. Back in November, we had our Next Steps curriculum night where we began introducing families to the course selection process at the high school. This video is a recap of all that was discussed that night, and we hope it will be useful for you if you were unable to attend or if you'd just like to review what was discussed. So with that said, welcome to high school. We look forward to having you on campus, and Miss Jennifer Brown, our assistant principal, will take it from here.
Greetings, my name is Jennifer Brown, and I'm the assistant principal at the Vestavia Hills High School freshman campus. I'm here to talk to you about rising ninth grade course selection for the 2023-2024 school year. This is the presentation we gave on November 15th, so that was our Next Steps night. So if you attended that, this is just a review of that information. All of this information is available on the Vestavia Hills High School website. You go to vhcs.us, go to Vestavia Hills High School, Teaching and Learning, go to Next Steps, go to Next Steps Course Selection Guide, and then find the freshman campus. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm going to go to the VHCS website. I'm going to go to schools down here, Vestavia Hills High School. I'm on the Teaching and Learning tab. I'm going to scroll down here to Next Steps. This is the Next Steps live binder for all of our schools. So you can see Liberty Park, Pizzette, Vestavia Hills High School freshman campus, and Vestavia Hills High School main campus. So if you click on the freshman campus, you will see all of the information here. It takes some time to go through that live binder, but all of the information I'm going to talk about now will be in this live binder. Welcome to high school. I'm going to talk through some of the things you're going to need to know for ninth grade. So the first thing is Alabama high school diploma. Alabama offers one high school diploma type, and to earn that diploma type, a student must earn 24 credits. So the student must earn 24 credits. 4 should be in English, 4 are going to be in math, 4 credits in social studies, and 4 credits in science. So that makes 16 of the 24 credits. Now, 1 credit must be in PE. I'm going to talk later about some different ways to earn that PE credit. 1 credit must be in something called career preparedness. We call that career prep. So it's divided into 2 parts, career prep A and career prep B. So let me take a moment to explain this. This is a mandatory course for graduation. However, career prep B has been woven. We've embedded it into our 12th grade economics class. And so our district got a waiver for Career Prep B because we teach those Career Prep B standards in 12th grade economics. So our students do not need to take Career Prep B because they get that in 12th grade. However, our students do need to take Career Prep A. We do not offer Career Prep A at the freshman campus, but we do offer several courses that satisfy that requirement. And I'm going to talk about those later. So students do either need to take Career Prep A sometime in 10 through 12, or in 9th grade, a student could take a course that satisfies that requirement, which I will talk about in just a few minutes. So 16 in your core content subjects, 1 credit in PE, 1 credit in Career Prep, half credit in health. Most students take that in 10th grade. And then 3 credits must be, we call it the U Pick 3. So a student must take 3 credits in career tech, world language, and or arts education. So a student could take 1 in each of those, or a student could take 3 in career tech, 3 world languages, or 3 in the arts area. So that would satisfy that requirement. You don't have to take 3 in each of those areas. And then 2.5 credits would be in other electives. And so we'll go through some of that shortly. Now, Alabama offers 1 diploma type. However, Vestavia Hills High School offers some additional endorsements. We have 2 endorsements. We have the Alabama High School Diploma with Advanced Academic Endorsement. And then we have the Alabama High School Diploma with the Advanced Academic Endorsement with Honors. So I'm going to go through and talk about what each of those would entail. So the Advanced Academic Endorsement. So a student would need to do all of the other requirements, all of these requirements for the Alabama High School Diploma. And then additionally, the student would need to complete 2 levels of the same world language. And yes, a middle school language does satisfy that first level as long as the second level is taken in ninth grade. So that would count. So 2 levels of the same world language. And then a student must successfully complete Algebra 2 with statistics and complete chemistry or honors chemistry. So that's the advanced academic endorsement. The advanced academic endorsement with honors, so the student would need to do all of this, so the 2 levels of world language, Algebra 2 and chemistry, and then also successfully complete 2 credits in honors or AP courses at any time during their high school pathway, and then successfully complete honors pre-cal or dual enrollment pre-cal. So that would be the advanced academic endorsement with honors. I'm going to talk through some of our core content areas, and I'm going to start with English. So we offer English 9 and Honors English 9. And for Honors English, I do need to let you know that the suggested prerequisite is an 85% or better in 8th grade Advanced English or a 90% or better in 8th grade English. And there is some summer work and summer reading required for that course. So if your child signs up for that course, just know that there will be some summer work. So just to give you an idea of the honors class versus the regular class. So the reading, writing, and vocabulary requirements for honors classes are roughly double those of regular English classes. So you can see the breakdown here. Grammar would be the same number of units. But if you notice vocab, the regular classes, which are the on-level courses, they would do 12 units of vocab, and then honors students would do 24 units. Honors and regular both do 1 research project. Literary analysis essay, you'll notice 1 in regular, 3 in an honors course. Narrative essays, you can see the difference. The summer reading is different, and then the choice read project is also going to be different. So that's going to be the difference between an honors in general as far as the assignments and the types of work you're going to be doing, and then the grading and the types of discussions and then the types of work may also be different. As far as science, so we offer biology and we offer honors biology. And again, the suggested prerequisites for honors biology would be an 85% or better in 8th grade advanced science or a 90% or better in 8th grade science. So I do want to let you know that honors biology is for any student. You don't have to be in a certain math level to take honors biology. You can take that regardless of your math level. But I do want to let you know that in honors biology, the content is covered in a different order, and those students are going to spend more time in biochemistry and macromolecules, really laying the foundation for a deeper understanding of the cell, more on a molecular level. And they're going to introduce chemistry because a lot of our students will go from honors biology to chemistry in 10th grade. And then the assessments look different. There's writing on most of those assessments. And the assessments count more. So the assessments are 80% of the grade in honors, the honors course, and then they're about 60% of the grade in the on-level general class. So that's a little bit about our science classes. Now, world history, we actually have 3 levels of world history. We have world history, which is the general on-level world history. We have honors world history. Both of those follow the Alabama state standards. And then we have something called AP world history, which is advanced placement world history. So AP world history is a college course. Students can earn college credit by scoring a certain grade on a test that will be given at the end of the year. So they follow a different curriculum. They follow the College Board curriculum. Honors world history follows the state standards, the state curriculum, but the content is obviously much deeper, maybe moves at a faster pace. So the suggested prerequisite for honors world history is 85% or better in 8th grade advanced social studies, and then 90% or better in 8th grade social studies. And then you will have summer work in honors world history. And then as far as AP world history, same suggested prerequisites, 85 in advanced, 90% or better in 8th grade social studies. There is an application to fill out, and the application is going to be in the live binder, but that must be filled out to take the course. There's a small writing sample on there, and then there will be summer work required for that course. So those 3 different levels are going to be different types of classes. We also offer 3 levels of geometry. We offer on-level or general geometry. We offer honors geometry. And then we offer something called accelerated honors geometry. And I will let you know in Power School that class is called advanced honors geometry. Now, if your child has taken accelerated math in 7th and 8th grade, they would be prepared to take honors geometry. So that is a requirement. That is not something that is a suggestion. That is a requirement. Accelerated math 7 and 8. We do suggest that they make an 85% or better in 8th grade accelerated math. So keep that in mind. As far as accelerated honors geometry, the required prerequisite is also accelerated 7 and 8, but we actually ask for a 90% or better in 8th grade accelerated, and this is a requirement for math team students, but it's not only for math team students. So all of our math team students must take this course. Plus, in addition, they must take the math team elective I'm going to talk about shortly. But this is there are 3 different levels. So in 8th grade, if your child is in math 8, then they would take geometry. If your child is in accelerated 8 and also took accelerated 7, your child should be prepared to take honors geometry. Now, they don't have to, but that would be the next progression. So from accelerated 8 to honors geometry or accelerated honors geometry. I know y'all may have questions about that. Please talk to your math teachers. Also, the counselors will be speaking to you, and I'm going to come out and talk to the students in January. So we'll explain this a little bit better in January to the students. It does get a little confusing. Let's talk about some of our electives. So when we talk about our electives, world languages, remember this is part of the You Pick 3. We offer French, German, Spanish, and Latin. So we offer levels 1 and 2 for French, German, and Spanish, and then we offer level 1 in Latin. And we do ask for a B average in 8th grade English for level 1. And then if the student is currently in world language in 8th grade, then they would be eligible to take level 2 in 9th grade. As far as our career tech electives, we offer event planning, we offer introduction to drafting, we offer business software applications, and we offer robotics. Now look at event planning. Look at the first 3. You see the stars next to it, to those 3. And if you'll notice, all 3 of those are courses that satisfy the Career Prep A requirement. So taking any of those courses the student wouldn't need to take Career Prep A in 10 through 12. And then as far as robotics, it is a career tech elective. However, it does not satisfy the Career Prep A requirement, and there is an application for that. And if you'll notice, it's in pink, and I've put that in pink because robotics is offered at the main campus. So students who take robotics would get on a bus at the end of the day after 7th period, and they would travel to the main campus and take the class over at the main campus. All right, our arts electives. If you'll notice, we offer band. So with the band, you can be in the symphonic marching band. You could be in the color guard, majorettes, or rockettes. And then we also offer dance. We offer choir. We offer theater. And we offer visual art. So I'm going to go back to this first page of the arts electives. Notice that band has 3 stars next to it. And those 3 stars mean that it is a PE credit. So taking band would mean that the student would earn his or her PE credit. Same thing for dance. Introduction to dance, advanced dance, and then if the student made rebellettes, that would give those children the PE credit, so they wouldn't need to take PE down the road. Notice symphonic, the band, if you'll notice, it's in pink, and that's because that would happen at the main campus. Our students actually start at the main campus, and then they are bussed over around 8:50, 8:55, and they're bussed over to the freshman campus after band practice. So that happens at the main campus. Notice choir. We have men's and women's choir. If you'll look at theater, we have acting, beginning acting, which is offered at the main campus, and then tech theater, which is also offered at the main campus. Tech theater it happens during first period, and the students work on the sets for the shows, and then, of course, beginning acting, they're actually participating and working on their acting skills, and that happens during 8th period at the main campus, and there would be busing back and forth from freshman campus to main campus, etc. And then, of course, visual art. We have lots of fun in visual art. those are our arts electives. Now, we do offer some other electives. So, of course, we do offer traditional PE. We call it beginning kinesiology. We offer debate. Notice that's in a different color. It's in pink. So that would happen at the main campus during 8th period, and there would be an application process for that. We offer science and engineering practices. It is an honors course, and we'll talk about what an honors course would mean shortly, but that is an honors course. It happens 8th period at the main campus. We offer honors math theory here at the freshman campus. So remember, if a student is on the math team, they have to take that accelerated honors geometry as well as honors math theory as one of their electives. We offer something called EQUIPS, and EQUIPS is a no-credit study hall. EQUIPS actually stands for Educational, Quiet, Uninterrupted, Independent, Productive Study. So during that time, students are in a classroom, and their job is to just get homework done and to study. And so they have time built into their day every single day where they can study. We also offer Algebra 1 with probability. Now, all 9th graders must take geometry. So geometry, honors geometry, or accelerated honors geometry. But there could be a scenario in which a student would want to take Algebra 1. So let me explain that scenario. So let's say there's a child who did not take accelerated 7 and 8 math, but they wanted to go ahead and they wanted to be eligible to take chemistry in the 10th grade. Well, to take chemistry in the 10th grade, a student must take concurrently, they must be enrolled in Algebra 2. Okay, so let me go back. Let me explain this because it gets very confusing. So in 8th grade, if they're in regular math, they go from Math 8, geometry, and then that's in 9th grade, and then in 10th grade, they take Algebra 1. 11th grade would be Algebra 2. A student who's in accelerated 7 and 8 would take accelerated 8, honors geometry. They don't have to take Algebra 1 because they've technically already taken the equivalent of Algebra 1 in 8th grade, so they would go directly to Algebra 2 in 10th grade. So that student would be eligible to take chemistry. That is a requirement. Students must be enrolled in Algebra 2 to take chemistry in 10th grade. Now, your child doesn't need to have to take chemistry at all. It's a great course, and it is required for the endorsement. And it's totally okay for a child to take it in 11th grade. So they don't have to take it in 10th grade. There's another science course they can take in 10th grade. But if a child wants to take chemistry in 10th grade and they're not in accelerated 7 and 8, that child would need to take geometry as well as Algebra 1. So that child would take 2 maths. Hopefully I was able to clear that up. I know it's a little confusing. All right. We offer remediation. This is for our exceptional education students. So students with an IEP would be assigned to a remediation course, which is with their case manager. And then we also offer PE for athletes. So any child who makes a sports team would be in a PE class specifically for athletes, and that is where they would get their strength and conditioning done. We do not require students to take an additional strength and conditioning class. They only take PE for athletes, and that's where they would do their workouts, maybe practice some. Some of our males have PE for athletes during 5th or 6th period, and then some males and females have it 8th period. So let's talk about athletics while we're on that subject. So there are some athletics that do not require a tryout. For instance, football. If your child wants to play football, he can play football. If your child wants to wrestle, boy or girl, he or she can wrestle. There is no tryout for that. You would just need to contact the coach, let the coach know, and they would be eligible to be on that team. It's also track and cross country. Now, it is very important that you let the coach know that the child wants to participate in football, wrestling, or track and cross country, but there is no tryout for those sports. Now, there are other athletics we offer in 9th grade that do require a tryout. So volleyball, football, cheer, boys and girls basketball, basketball cheer, boys and girls bowling. We have a flag football team. We actually have swim and dive. We have girls and boys soccer, girls and boys golf, girls and boys tennis, and then we have baseball and softball. So typically those tryouts happen in May, and we get the list. And so what would happen is, I know course selection it will be done before tryouts. So if your child makes a sports team or a dance team or something like that, what would happen is we would replace one of their electives. And there's a spot on the Google form course card that actually says, what do you plan to try out for a team? If so, what team? If you make that team, what would you want to drop? And so most people will want to drop, regular PE or dance or something like that if they make Rebelettes, or if they make the softball team. So we just work on that. It's we have to work closely with our coaches, but it's a process. It's something we've been doing for years, so it works. All right, so let's talk about our schedule. We have our regular bell schedule. We have 8 periods, an 8-period day, and first through 8 periods. And if you'll notice, second period is highlighted. Our main campus also has an 8-period day, but at the main campus, they have lunch during 4th and 5th period. So during 4th and 5th period, students would have like lunch, half the period if they had 4th period lunch, and the other half would be study. Well, what we've done here is we've taken that lunch portion and we've broken off that study hall portion, and we put it for every child, every teacher during 2nd period, and we call it advisory. So during advisory, every single day, students are able to, we have different things that happen here. Sometimes we have guest speakers. Sometimes when we have drills. Sometimes we've met with authors before. Every Wednesday, we actually offer something called Wednesday tutorial time, where kids can get extra help or get enriched or hear a speaker. And then we also have clubs once a month during our advisory period. So that advisory period is really cool. We do a lot with that advisory period. And so every child, every teacher has advisory 2nd period. Very important question. When do freshmen eat lunch? Well, they eat lunch during 5th period. If you'll notice, 5th period is 75 minutes, and all the other periods except 2nd, those periods are 50 minutes. So during 5th period, at some point during 5th period, your child will eat lunch. So some kids would have a lunch, the first 25 minutes. If they're in an English class, they would eat the first 25 minutes, and then they would have class the last 50. Our Spanish, German, French, event planning, art, and drafting classes, they actually go to class for the first 25, then they go eat, and then they come back to class. And then some of our other subject areas, such as geometry, math team, dance, and biology, they would go to class the first 50 minutes, and then they would eat that last 25 minutes. So every child eats lunch during 5th period at some point. All right, let's talk a little bit about honors courses versus regular courses and what the difference is in the grading scale. So in an honors course, at the end of the semester, so remember, the semester has first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, and then an exam. First 9 weeks is 40%, second 9 weeks is 40%, that exam is 20%. At the end of the semester, when all that's averaged, the teacher is going to go in and add 2% to the grade at the end of the semester in an honors course. Now, let me show you what that means. So check this out. So notice, this is the student schedule. They're taking an AP course, a couple of honors courses. This is the semester grade. So you can see 87, 78, 92, 89. Specifically focus on honors biology and honors English. Notice what happened. At the end of the semester, look right here. So honors biology, they added 2%, so it went up to an 80. Honors English was an 89, and the teacher added 2%, and it went up to a 91. Not only do we add a percentage at the end of the semester, there's also a GPA bump. Now, remember, GPA is on a 4-point scale, so a 4.0 would mean straight A's typically. An honors course would give the student a GPA bump. So normally, an A is 4 points, a B is 3, C is 2, a D is 1. But in an honors course, an A is 5 points, a B is 4 points, a C is 3 points, and a D is 2 points. So let me show you how that looks. So check out that honors course. So let's focus on honors biology. So the student earned a 78. Teacher added 2%, so that bumped that grade up to an 80. Now, normally a B would be 3 points on a normal scale, but in an honors course, the child would get a 4 for that 80. So that 78 ended up being a 4.0. Look at this, the honors course, the honors English, 89, we added 2%. Normally an A would be a 4.0, but in an honors course, a B is a 5.0, so that GPA score would be a 5. So our honors classes are very challenging. but there's a lot of cushion built in. So students, if they don't have the grade that they're used to, we have a lot of cushion built in throughout at the end of the semester. Let's talk about honors versus AP. So honors versus advanced placement. What's the difference in grading? Well, in an AP class, we actually add 4% to that grade at the end of the semester. There's the same GPA bump. And then for those AP courses, we follow the National College Board standards. And then there is a mandatory test, an AP test at the end of the year, and that score could get your child college credit. So let's see how that looks in that AP course. Check out this AP World History, which is the AP course that we offer. Notice that child had an 87 at the end of the semester. Remember, first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks exam, that grade was an 87. We added 4%. So that made a 91. And remember, that's normally a 4.0 on a regular scale, but on an honors and AP scale, that child would get a 5.0. So notice these 3 courses right here, World History, AP World History, Honors Biology, and Honors English, those did get that quality point. Notice Geometry, that A was a 4.0. Infotech Fundamentals, which we don't offer anymore, was a 96, which was a 4.0. That Spanish 2 was a 3.0. And then Varsity Tennis, that PE class was a 4.0. All right. What courses should my child take? So they have to take English, they have to take world history, they have to take a biology, and they must take a geometry course. In addition to those 4 courses, so we have an 8-period day, 4 core classes, advisory, every child gets advisory, and then 3 electives. And we will ask your child to choose 3 alternate electives because there are times when we need to go to an alternate. And that will be on the course selection Google form, which I'll make a video for later. But 4 core classes and 3 electives. And then, of course, that 7th period is advisory. So think about that. There's an 8-period day, 2nd period's advisory. So there are 7 opportunities to get to earn credits. Well, really, they only need 6 credits per year to graduate. So lots of opportunities here to get those required credits. All right, let's go through some frequently asked questions. Would colleges prefer a B in an AP honors course or an A in a regular course? It really just depends. When your child applies for college, most likely the application, I'm not talking about scholarships. Now, we're talking about application process, not just a scholarship process. They're going to ask for GPA and ACT score. Now, is it going to benefit your child to take AP, more challenging courses in the long run? Possibly, but it really just depends on the college. So, that's something that you're going to want. And we actually do that in our event planning and in our BSA courses. We look at colleges to see what they really want. So it's going to depend from college to college. So, it just depends. Do colleges want a student's weighted or unweighted GPA? I'm going to go back to this slide. That 5.0 for AP World History, that's a weighted GPA. Unweighted GPA, regardless of whether it's honors or AP, is still a 4.0. So the question is, do colleges want a student's weighted or unweighted GPA? And again, it just depends, but I'll tell you, Alabama colleges just ask for the weighted GPA. Now, if your child is, applying for scholarships and competing for things of that nature, then, they may ask for an unweighted GPA. But our Alabama colleges typically want a weighted GPA, but that's something you're going to want to investigate as you guys are, going through this process. Can a parent override form be signed to bump up to a class that is higher than recommended? We really feel like our recommendations have been pretty accurate. There are only a few situations where a child probably could have moved up and didn't. We really feel like a parent should never override. But there are some situations where a parent can override, maybe from honors to, from general class to an honors class or from honors to AP. We do not do an override for the math courses, though, because those are requirements from the state. So that geometry, you can't override to honors geometry. But I really, I hope you will listen to the teachers and have some conversations because we've found that our recommendations are typically pretty accurate. What if my child wants to drop an honors course? Remember, A lot of our honors courses, so English and history require summer work. So the question is, there are two of them that I need to discuss. What if my child wants to drop an honors course because he or she is not making an A once the year starts? So we don't allow that. We have a process for dropping a course, and a B or a C would likely not fall into that category. So typically we don't drop courses. And we found that pushing students to stick with those courses has actually made them better, and we've seen a lot of growth. So just know that if they're in an honors course, and just because they're not making an A does not mean that we have a process, and it goes through our student support team process. We apply interventions. There are things that have to be done before we would even consider dropping a course. So keep that in mind as you guys are choosing. Back to the other part, what if my child doesn't feel like doing the summer work after he or she signed up for the course? Remember, English and history, summer work is required. And once the summer rolls around, we don't make any course selection changes. I'm going to show you that in the chart in just a minute. It's a big puzzle. We have a certain number of students we allow in each class. And just a reminder, we have teachers that teach at Pizzitz. We have teachers that also teach at the main campus. So it's a huge puzzle. And then we just think that, we've been proactive and we've let folks know. And so you have the entire summer, and going into it, if you sign up for honors English or honors or AP history, you're going to have summer work. So keep that in mind. So you can't get to the end of the summer and decide that my child didn't do the summer work. We're going to require them to do that before school starts. Does my child need to take all honors and AP courses to get into college? No. Application to college does not require a child taking all honors and AP courses. Think through. Have some conversations with your child about the purpose for taking those honors and AP courses, because they are challenging, and there's some value in those. But I really, hope you guys will take some time to talk to your counselor, your teachers, and really, look at the suggested prerequisites, because those prerequisites we feel like are very accurate. Is world language required for college? Please hear me when I say this. World language is not required for Alabama colleges. It is not required to graduate from Vestavia. Remember, you pick 3. You do not have to pick a world language. Our world language classes and teachers are amazing, but world language is not a requirement for graduation, and Alabama colleges do not require it. Now, you may want to look, if your child's thinking of going out of state, you may want to investigate that, but it is not a requirement for graduation, and it is not a requirement for admission to Alabama colleges. Okay, dates to remember. Dates to remember for, these are important. So I'm going to speak to students at Pizzitz and Liberty Park in January before the Google Form course card opens. We will do that for about a week. You will have a week to decide on your courses, get those entered into Power School by February 7th. And then February 8th through March 24th, counselors will individually meet with each student. So this takes a while, but we sit down with each student and go over their course selection. Friday, April 28th is the last day to make a course request change without a fee. And then April 28th through May 19th, you can make a change, but there's a $50 processing fee. And then once the summer rolls around, there will be no course request changes allowed. So we think this is a good process. We are going to support you guys along the way. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Jennifer Brown, and I'm at the freshman campus, and we are so excited that your children will be with us next year. I hope y'all have an awesome day, and go Rebels.